You know, the In Search of America project actually began several years ago, and I worked on it for about 3.5 years, and then I brought it to a stopping point. I didn't discontinue it or stop it completely, but I brought it to a point where I thought I had covered enough, and I needed to take time to sort of edit through all of the thousands of images and start writing towards what I was going to publish in the book, and on and on and on. And then over the last couple of years while I've been working on that, I've just seen things change so much, and far more rapidly, it seems at least, than ever before. And how this project started, or how it came about, the impetus for it, is that, you know, I kept hearing all of these stories on the news, regardless of what channel I listened to. And, you know, I would hear conversations with people on the street or in cafes or whatever. I would look on social media, and everything was the same. It was just talking about how society was, you know, kind of in the toilet almost. You know, we were so divisive within one another, within our society. And, you know, it was just all negative. And I asked myself at one point, you know, is this all there is? And I couldn't answer that question. So I started asking friends, and then I started asking just people that I would run into. And everybody gave me the same answer, which was essentially, it must be all there is because that's all we hear. And I thought, you know, my gut told me there was something more. Just like when I did the documentary on Appalachia, on Mountain Dignity. You know, my gut told me that there was something more. And so I said to myself, literally, I said to myself, David, look, you know, for better part of 40 years, you have been a photojournalist and a documentary photographer who is better equipped to get the answer to this than you. And so with that, I said, okay, I'm going to go off on the road, and I'm going in search of America, literally. That's what I said. That's why the title is what it is. I'm going off in search of America. I want to know what it's about. And what I found is that we still live in this country that is full of amazing things and amazing people. And it's filled with hope. Every place I went to, and the majority, in fact, I'd say probably 98-99% of the places that I visited were small towns or rural towns. And everywhere I went, I saw people either reinforcing community or rebuilding community or building community for the first time. But again, the common thread is that community was coming back. It was becoming popular again. And this is where people were gaining stability and strength and grounding. And as I continued the project, my hope for not just the future, but for the now, began to grow and grow. And so when I was on this hiatus editing, I realized again that with all these rapid changes, they're continuing, that, you know, we need hope now more than ever. And I'm hearing that from a lot of people. Again, friends, acquaintances, people on social media. We need hope. And so I decided to reinitiate the project. I'm going to put all the editing on hold. I'm going to go back at it. But what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to do it even more in depth, because we need that. That's what we need right now. So that's what this YouTube channel is about. Is even though I'll be shooting photographs and doing stories the way I did before with the end results in mind of exhibitions and books, I want to do essentially a travelogue. So this YouTube channel, as much as it will be a documentary of sorts, I really want it to be more fun. I want it to be exciting and uplifting and hopeful. So the stories I'm telling on YouTube are almost like a travelogue, or at least that's what I'm shooting for, trying for, is I want you to be able, especially now in this time of the COVID pandemic where we can't get out, I want you to be able to live, for lack of a better term, vicariously through me. And that's one of the great things about what I do. In fact, that is the great thing about what I do, is that, yes, I get to make photographs, and I love making photographs. But more than that, what I really love about what I do is I get to experience all of these amazing things and meet all these amazing people from all walks of life. And then I'm doubly blessed because I get to share it with people like you. And I get to allow them as best I possibly can to experience these experiences through my storytelling. So again, that's what this YouTube channel is about, is for you to be able to sit down and watch video clips from all of these different places that I go to visit and all of the different people and stories that I hear from these people. That's what I want to share with you, and that's what this is all about. In fact, one of the things I'm hoping to bring you very soon, as of probably in the next week or so, is that I was out here in northern Arizona, which is where I'm filming from now, about 8 weeks ago, I guess it was, and I had the privilege of making a photograph of a woman. Her name is Helen Gray Eyes, and Helen is a traditional Navajo woman. She speaks no English. She only speaks Navajo. She's 83 or 84 years old. She lives alone. She herds sheep every day by herself. She's an incredibly independent person. But she's this amazing human being, and I had the opportunity to make a portrait of her because I had been over to photograph her a couple of times before, and I've gotten to really know her and the family. In fact, when I went over to make the portrait, as I started setting up the equipment, they said, no, just stop, come into the house first and have lunch with us. And when a Native American invites you in for a meal, that's a sign that you are accepted. And so I was blown away, and I did. And then I got to make the portrait. And that was just an amazing experience, to say the least, and an honor. But now, hopefully this coming Sunday, that I will have an opportunity to go back to visit with Helen and to take 2 of the prints of the portraits back to give to her. And I'm hoping that I can get that onto video of her getting to see the portraits, for the first time, because portraits are something that natives generally don't have an opportunity to have made, at least not a really great portrait. In fact, in Helen's house, the only real photograph of her is a snapshot that was made at some gathering 10 or 15 years ago, something like that. And it's a fine image, but there are no actual portraits. And these 2 portraits that I made, they show really kind of the very traditional and stoic and very proud Navajo woman. And then the other portrait, the second portrait that I made of her, is her with her guard down and being herself and being the Helen that I've come to know, where she's laughing. And when Helen laughs, her face just lights up. I mean, it's truly beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. So anyhow, I'm hoping, again, that I can get that onto video and to share that with you. Excuse me, but that's another one of the things that I love about my work, is that then at times I get to go back to some of the people I photographed and share photographs that I made of them with them, and to give them a copy. And it doesn't happen often enough, but when it does, and this is a great example, it just makes everything I do worthwhile. It's truly the height of what I get to do and of my life as a photographer. So anyhow, these are some of the things that I want to bring to you, and it'll be a mixed bag of things. Again, sometimes it'll be travelogue kind of things, sometimes it'll be interviews with people, whatever. But I want you to be able to enjoy it from your couch, from your bedroom, watching on a TV, whatever. Also, if you would, feel free to leave me comments. I want to hear what you have to say. If there's something that you like, please let me know. If there's something that you didn't like or that you felt could have been done better, let me know. I really want to know. Truly I do. Because I want to make this as good as I possibly can for all of us. Subscribe to the channel, please. That really helps things out in the long run. But, if you're not sure right away, don't worry about it. But again, that's what this channel is going to be all about. So I want to leave you with a little bit of footage from this desert that surrounds me. The northern Arizona, the high desert, I find to be one of the most beautiful places I never would have imagined. But I've been spending time here on and off for the last, I guess the first time I came out was I think in late December, late December. And of course, there wasn't snow here because it's too dry, but it was cold, and the desert was amazing. And then when I came back again a couple of months ago to do some work, it was springtime in the desert, and it was amazingly beautiful. It's this incredible, very subtle color palette. But I just never tire of it. And now that we're sort of in the midst of summer, and everything's really dry. In fact, the rains, it should be the rainy season right now, and the rains keep trying to come. And there have been some over the last few days, but not enough. And now the desert's kind of drying out a little bit, but it's going through one of its phases, and it's sort of dying back and preparing for winter, which here, winter will start, I don't want to say winter, but the cold weather will actually start, within the next month or so. So it's really, really amazing, to be able to see the changes. But again, I just want to share a little bit of footage from this desert so you can kind of get a feel of what it's like. And again, I hope you'll join me for all the future episodes. And please, please give me the feedback. Let me know what you think. And until next time, may life just bring you all of the joy and the great things that it has to offer.